Hello. Hey guys, am I audible? Guys, I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So do you remember yesterday what we have done? What we discussed? What we started yesterday? Did you remember, guys, what we discussed yesterday?
Yes, sir. Jenkins.
Exactly. Yeah, Jenkins. So can anyone tell me why we need Jenkins? Why should industry use Jenkins?
For the continuous integration.
Exactly. For the CI/CD, for the continuous integration and the deployment. So for that, we need a Jenkins, right? So we have done all the initial setup yesterday, right? So we have configured our Jenkins on the CentOS machine that we have created on AWS. And did you see my video? I sent the recording along with the content also in the drive. Did you get that one? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, quickly, yesterday we were discussing
Sir?
about, yeah, tell me.
Sir, I have small query, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
you can
you
ask.
are making notes now, sir.
Yes.
Oh, you are mentioning on notes now, sir. So that one, can you send through WhatsApp, sir?
Sure,
So
sure. I
those
will
all are
send
comments.
you. Yeah, sure. I will send you. I will send you after this session. Maybe I will send you. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Completed. Okay. Yeah. Right. So yesterday we have created a small job also inside your Jenkins. How we have created the Jenkins job? Do you remember? Once you click on new item, you can give the project name. You have to mention the project name. Say this is my first Jenkins job. Like that, I'm giving a job name. And you have to select the preset project and click on OK. Now it will ask you to give the description. If you want to give the description, you can give it. If you don't want, just ignore. Then build step. So where we are using the CentOS, it's a Linux machine. Either you can go for bash scripting or you can go for shell scripting. I can click on shell scripting. And I am writing simple print message with the help of echo command. Echo, I'm writing hello. This is first job from Dinesh. Like that I have written something. After that, you can directly click on apply and you can click on save. And if you want to run the job, you can go to the dashboard and directly you can run it from here. This is the one way. You can click on this, thereby your job, right? Your job will be executed. So it is taking some time. Okay, once you click on this, can you see my first job got executed? So if I want to see the console output, you can click on this. Here you can see, right, my job build success, and I can see the message, hello, this is a first job from Dinesh. Now if you want to check whether this particular job has been created or not, for that you can go for your terminal. Simply you can write a cd command and paste it this one, right, and type ls. Can you see first Jenkins demo? It is available inside your workspace. Where is that workspace? Can you see here? Once you click on this particular project, you can find the workspace, right? You can click on this workspace. And this is the first Jenkins demo that we have created. If you want to create any directory, you can create it inside if you want, but I don't want any directory at all. This is how you have to create a new job inside your Jenkins with the help of a new item. New item, new job, new project, all are same. This is we have done yesterday. Now today, let me teach you a small pipeline. How to create a pipeline project, how to build a small pipeline, that we will try to understand. So, how to create pipeline through Jenkins. Guys, in the real time, most of the time, you will not use the normal freestyle project, never. In the real time, definitely you people won't use the Jenkins freestyle project. Most of the time, you will go for pipeline. When I say what is meant by pipeline, you know, right? We used Git, we used CI, continuous integration. For that, we are using Jenkins. So once you have pushed your code, to your GitHub, once you have pushed your code to the GitHub, maybe check out a code to the version control system, a GitHub. That's the first step. The second step is you have to do the compilation. You have to perform the compilation. And the third step is you need to go for code review. After that, we will perform a unit testing. Then we will go for packaging. Then we will once again do the testing on, once we will deploy, right? We will deploy to some environment. What? Maybe a lower level environment, lower life cycle environment, which is maybe a dev or QA. Then the tester, they will do a manual or automation testing. They will perform some level of manual or automation testing. Once the test case all are passed, then finally what will happen? We need to move the code to the production, the live environment, prod environment, the real server. Then only the customer can able to see. This is a series of steps, right? Everything we are doing with the help of what? A Jenkins. Earlier we have done everything in the manual way, but nowadays people, they are using the Jenkins for their continuous integration and continuous deployment or continuous delivery. What is the difference between deployment and delivery? I will tell you later. As of now, for CI/CD, we are using the Jenkins. This whole process we have to automate. So here we have a series of steps, right, that we have to automate. How? With the help of a Jenkins. Normal Jenkins freestyle project, we cannot use it for this. We have a pipeline right here. We have a series of steps here that I have to automate. For that reason only we are going for pipeline. Pipeline as a code. We are going to use some kind of a Groovy script. We are going to write some kind of a Groovy script. Thereby, you can automate this series of steps. But as of now, let me write a small pipeline, a basic skeleton. I will write a basic skeleton. Don't think like I'm writing. So only a basic skeleton, guys. I'm going to write. So I'm not going to write any piece of code in Groovy. Simple. You can write a node. This is the basic skeleton. Here we have a node. In a node, we have a many stage. Maybe you can find first stages. I have to check out the code to some version control system. This is my first stage. Here you have to write whatever the code that you want. You can write it inside. Maybe let me write a simple, maybe echo message as of now. Simple echo message. Check out the code. Check out the code to the version control system. This is my first stage. But in the real time, they have written many pieces of code here. Then only write it. As of now, I am doing some sample code. But in real time, they will write the exact code. The next step, I have to do the compilation. So this is my next stage. The stage is compilation. Say I am writing echo, within a single quotation, I'm writing compilation. Compile. Then third one, I have to go for code review. Sorry, 1 minute. Then you will write stage, single quotation. This is code review. And I'm writing simple echo message for our understanding. Echo, say this is my pull request. It means that pull request means a pull request for code review. After it is done, we will perform some level of unit testing. I need to perform unit testing. So here I'm writing simply echo. It is unit testing. Once it is done, after completion of your unit testing, what we are doing? We are doing packaging. We are doing the packaging. Say suppose I have a stage called packaging. So here I'm writing echo like generating some kind of war file. Generating a war file for maybe a deployment. And we have another stage. This stage where I'm going to deploy, right, to lower environment, maybe staging environment or QA environment where I'm going to deploy. So write a block, write echo within a double quotation, deploy to QA and stage. Then I'm going to perform here automation testing, like maybe we are using some Selenium tool. No need to worry about whatever that I'm writing. In real time, we have to write like this. So based on our requirement, echo within a double quotation. So here automation testing. And finally, there is a stage called deploy on prod. So here I need to write simple echo statement prod. Like that I'm writing something, right? So now what I can do, whatever the basic skeleton I have written, let me copy this skeleton, right? So, okay, copy this, and I will use this skeleton, and I'm writing this is my Jenkins pipeline, and you can see the pipeline project, right? Yesterday we have used the pre-sale project. That is normal, but in a real time, most of the time, people there are using the Jenkins for continuous integration and continuous deployment. For that, you have to go for several stages. Then obviously you need the pipeline project. Click on OK. Now, no need to worry about the description and all. Come below. Directly you can come below and you can find one option called pipeline. Can you see the pipeline? There are two options here. One is you can go for directly pipeline script. You can directly write the script here, or otherwise you can go for a script from the SCM, source code management. If you have written some kind of a Groovy script inside the source code management tool, inside your GitHub, that also you can integrate. When you do like this, right, here you have to tell whether do you need to go for Git. Yeah, you can give the Git, and you can give the repository URL. For Git, you have a repository, remote repository URL, that you have to give it. For credential, you can give it here. But as of now, I'm going for directly pipeline script. I'm going to give. I'm not going to use any Git and all. Directly, I can go for pipeline script. Just to paste this, whatever the content that you have written, right? Just you can paste it. A dummy, a skeleton that I pasted here. Once it is done, cool. Now come below. You just click on apply and click on save. So, am I clear so far?
Yes, bro.
Maunika, Nikhil, Satyamurthy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, it is done. After that, directly you can see, right, build now option. Click on this build now. Now this job is building. This job is building. Now you can, after a couple of seconds, can you see? You can see the output, right? The first step, check out a code to version control system. The next stage is compilation. The third stage is the code review. Fourth stage is unit test. Fifth stage is packaging. Sixth stage is QA and automation testing and deploy to production. Suppose if somewhere if your test script is failed, you can clearly see in this stage view. If you click on this full stage view, you can get to know that. That in the real time, by the developer or maybe the DevOps engineer, they look into here. Thereby, they will get to know that where the problem, whether the problem when we push the code to GitHub, or is it any problem with respect to compilation, or any problem while performing the unit testing. Like that, they used to write a pipeline script. So in a single shot, in a single pipeline, with the help of Jenkins, you can able to push your code to GitHub. You can do the compilation, you can do the code review, unit test, everything you are integrating in an automation manner. Are you getting my point? Why do we need to go for pipeline?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
So that's the powerful, guys. So suppose if you are clicking once again, if you are building once again, see one more job will be created. So the second job will be executed now. So after the second job is executed, here you can get to know that 646, I have executed the first build. After that, the developer, they made some changes, maybe consider like while performing the unit testing, there is a mistake. What the developer they are doing, they are fixing this one. After that, once again, what you can do, directly click on build now. What will happen? The code will be pushed to version control system. It will do the compilation, code review, unit testing, packaging, deploy, everything will be happening in the stage wise. It's a pipeline wise. So that's how your Jenkins pipeline will work. So Jenkins pipeline, it is in the real time very, very mandatory, guys. Most of the people, they are using, they have implemented their project, pipeline project. So if you ask me why Jenkins pipeline, if you want to integrate a multiple stages, then obviously we require the pipeline in Jenkins. So that's the reason Jenkins, we can call it as continuous integration or continuous deployment or delivery tool. So in the interview, people might ask, why do we need Jenkins pipeline? Why do we need Jenkins pipeline? Maybe I will give you. So in order to implement, if you want to implement continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous integration and continuous delivery, then obviously we need a Jenkins pipeline. So this pipeline, we are defining what? We are defining as a pipeline as a code. Pipeline as a code. That is called pipeline as a code. Either you can go for script wise also. It is better to go for script, where we can define what kind of action that we need to take care. So by using this Jenkins pipeline, we can able to build our code, we can able to test our code, we can perform the deployment. All this activity we can easily perform with the help of your Jenkins. We can automate actually. We can automate your build, test and the deployment process in order to control your build, test and the deployment. Any questions so far?
No.
Fine. Now, anyway, tomorrow also we are going to cover few more things with respect to Jenkins pipeline that I will cover tomorrow. So the next thing is, consider, I will go for dashboard. And let me create one new job now. Let me create one new job. A normal pre-stake project itself I can go for. Say this is the demo and click on OK. And it will ask you some description and all. But if you come below, right, can you see something called build triggers? What is this means? It is an entry question. What is mean by build triggers? Build triggers. Guys, sometime I want to run my build periodically. Consider like every 2 minutes I need to execute my build. Maybe every week Friday I have to execute my code. Or think like every maybe afternoon 2 p.m. I have to execute my code. Or once in a week I have to execute my code. Once in a month I have to execute my code. How can I do that one? In that case, Jenkins provide one option called build periodically. We have one option called build periodically. Using that, you can able to build your job periodically. So if you click on this, you will get to know that. So it provides one pattern called a cron pattern. In Linux itself, we have this term which is called a cron pattern. So using the cron pattern, we can able to build your script periodically. Suppose if I want to execute my code sharply today 12 a.m. Today night 12 a.m. sharply I need to execute my code. Even I'm not in office. Even I'm not in maybe I'm not working. In that case also I have to execute. How can I schedule the job? How can I schedule the job? Is that possible? Yeah, it is possible in Jenkins. For that only, we have an option called build periodically. So it follows something called a cron pattern. So if you need more idea on cron pattern, you can go to this URL, cron tab group, right? Or otherwise, so cron pattern for Jenkins. Let me type. When you press enter, and no, not this URL, just to go this one. No, not this one as well. One URL is available. That is good actually. So it's a kind of a calculator. Which one? Yeah, here. See, here you can see this page. Here we have a 5-star, right? Star, 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 star. Totally we have a 5-star. So if you ask me what is cron pattern, you can find 5-star, star, 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 5-star. Here the first star represent minute, guys. What is the first star represent? First star represent minute. Whereas second star, it represent hour. Third star, it represent day of the month. Day of the month. Day of the month. And the fourth star represent month actually. Month, 1 to 12 month, right, in a year. And the last star represent day of the week. Day of the week. This you have to remember. It is minute, first star. Second star represent hour. Third star is the day of the month, which is day of the month means which is 1 to 31 days, right? Day of the month, which is 1 to 12 months. Day of the weeks means I think 0 to 6. 0 to 6. Now, I want every 2 minutes I have to execute. Every 2 minutes I have to build my job. I have to execute. Every 2 minutes I want to periodically execute my job. So minute means first star, right? What you have to write? You have to write, right? Slash, just type 2 space star, 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 star. If you write like this, you want to build your star. You have to build your job every 2 minutes once. Every 2 minutes, periodically, you want to execute your code. Suppose every 10 minutes, for that you have to write slash forward slash 10 star, 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 star. Here every 10 minutes. Are you getting my point?
Sir,
Yes,
one
sir.
star is for minutes, na, sir?
First star is minute. Yeah, one.
Yes, sir.
If you mention one every minute I have to build.
But here you mentioned 4 stars, right, sir? So this is not for minutes, right, sir?
Which one? Can it come again? This 4 star is the remaining 4 star.
Sir, I'm not getting, sir.
Totally, we have a 5 star, man.
Yes,
The
sir.
first star, we can call it as minute, right?
Yes, sir.
I want every 2 minutes I have to run my job, correct? I have to run my script.
Yes, sir.
So for that, I'm using 2. 2 means every 2 minutes. Suppose
Yes,
now
sir.
the time is 6:57. Next build is 6:59. Next build is 7:1. And next build is 7:3, 7:5, 7:7, 7:9. Like that, every 2 minutes your script will be executed.
Yes, sir.
You are getting, Nikhil? Or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But what I'm asking means, you mentioned here 4 stars, right, sir? So why you mentioned 4 stars for minutes?
just to give an example, next I need to go for hour also.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
It is a pattern, that's it.
Okay.
Suppose every 2 hours I have to execute my code. How can I do that one? Every 2 hours. You have to write a star.
Star,
Then
hash, bar.
which is 2 hours, right? 2.
Okay, okay.
Then
Got it,
star.
Star,
It means
star.
that
Yes, sir.
every 2 hours. Every 2 hours once.
Got it, sir.
Every 2 hours once the script will be executed. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now I got it.
For hours, we don't have to mention that slash.
Yeah, you can mention. That's fine. No issues.
Okay.
See, Jenkins syntax is different, but I will tell you. Suppose if we go here, now I am changing here. See this cron pattern 2 space star space star space star. So it means that what? Every 2 minutes, right? The next job is 92, 92, 72. Then we will get 74, 76 like that. Is that correct? Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Suppose
sir.
if you are mentioning 10, then after 10 minutes, the next build at maybe 7:10, 7:20, 7:30, 7:40, like that. Now, let me make it as year 2. 2 means what? 2 hour. At every minute past 2 hour. The next build is at, what happened? This is 25. One minute. Yes, sorry. So it means that 2 p.m. actually. What does means? 2 p.m. So today 2 p.m. already executed. Tomorrow 2 p.m. will be executed. Are you getting my point?
Bro, is there a 24 hours format again?
Yes, correct. Yes. Suppose if I give 10, every day 10 a.m. your script will be executed. Every day 10 a.m. will be script executed. So if I say 14, 14, 14, it means that every day 2 p.m. script will be executed. Are you clear?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Now suppose, let me write here, I'm going to affect the day, 3rd. Then what it means? When the script will be executed? 3rd means what? 3rd means
March.
date actually.
Date.
Date in the month. 3rd date. So it will be executed on February, right? February 3. February 3, 2 p.m. the script will be executed. Are you getting my point?
Yes, bro.
Everyone got it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Please repeat it regarding this R.
R. Okay. So let me put it 10 space star. So it means that every day 10 a.m. script will be executed.
Okay, it can be only 10 a.m., not p.m.
No, 10 a.m. So if I make it as 22, then only it is at 10 p.m.
Okay, okay.
Railway, right? 22 means 10 p.m. Monica, clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now suppose if you are making like, maybe this is consider like the date is 5, not date is 5. Today date is 24, right? Maybe can I make it as 26? I will make it as 26. Then what will happen? 26th of the month, right? The script will be executed. 26. Today date is 24. 26 sharply at what? 12 a.m. Your script will be executed. Are you getting my point?
At every minute, right, sir?
Sorry?
Sir,
Yes, at every minute, correct. At every minute. At every minute, at every month also. Clear?
okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We didn't mention here, na. So that's why.
Yeah, every development,
getting-
maybe we can mention like star, instead of star, if we mention one, right? At every minute, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, but no need of that much based on your project, you will do this cron job. This is how your cron job will work. The first represent minute, the second represent hour, third represent day, fourth represent a month, the fifth represent day of the week. Suppose if you are mentioning 4, if you are mentioning 4 means Thursday. 4 means Thursday. So if you mention 6 means Saturday. If you mention 7, Sunday. 7 means 0. 0 means what? Sunday. 4 means Thursday. Then what it means? So 26 of this particular month, every minute, only on Thursday, the script will be executed. Are you getting my point?
Yes, please.
So
Yes.
yeah. So no. So this is how your cron job will work. So suppose. So what I can do, I can go to my Jenkins. A simple cron job we can see. I can go here and let me type the schedule. First one, and I can make it as, say, this is 2 star. 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, I want to build my job. Every 2 minutes, I want to build my job. Just to see here, next, when it will execute at 133. But why it is giving 133? The reason because I have used CentOS server, right, on the Linux machine, and which region I have used? I have used the North Virginia region. That's the reason you are seeing like this. I have hosted the Jenkins server on top of that. Simply don't need to worry, apply and save. Now, after 2 minutes, you just see here, automatically your build will be executed. Wait for a while. After a 2 minutes, definitely you can see, right, your build will be executed. So we wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, your script will be executed. See, your script started, right? So if you wait 1 more 2 minutes, once again the second build will be started. So like that, if you want to schedule your job, you can able to schedule it with the help of your Jenkins. You can able to schedule it with the help of Jenkins. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. But previously in the script we have given h/2,
Actually,
right?
for each and every server that we are working, the syntax will vary. But there is a minor syntax vary. There is no the much syntax. See here.
Okay.
Here we basically use H, but if we go for Linux, people they will not use H. Instead of H, they will use some other letter also.
Okay.
Okay. So in Jenkins, generally we have to use H/2.
Okay.
Okay. So if you go for Ansible, where we have to follow the different syntax. SonarQube, we have to follow different syntax. But cron job or cron pattern remains same. The only syntax, minute syntax different. That's it.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, if you are taking hours means, so that h/2, if I make 2 hours means, So I have to mention h by 2 in hours, right, sir?
Yes. So you no need to mention man h by 2. Directly you can put the number, that's enough.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
First minute only you have to write h. H means hour by 2. But you no need to mention it for hours and all. Directly you can give the number.
Okay, sir.
Are you clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Suppose, let me click on this configure. Let me click on this configure. Now I will do some changes here. Say suppose sharply at 10 p.m. I have to execute my code. How can I write it? Sharply 10 p.m. Star 10 means 22
22
space
star.
star. See, consider you 137. 137 star.
Star,
If you are
star.
writing, what it is indicate? Do you mean every minute when you say every minute I don't want, right?
Yes, sir.
So what it is telling, do you really mean every minute? When you say star 22 star, perhaps you mean H22 star to poll once per year. So what I can do instead of star, I'm going to put it as H. So it will execute exactly right. See here, 10:30 UST time, universal time, this one. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So exactly 10:30:48, it will execute my script. Everyone clear? Satyamurthy, Nikhil, Monica.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If you leave it as a star, right? That's a problem. Why we are putting only star means what? Every minute, right? At the time, 10 this time, every minute your script will be executed. But I don't want every minute the script should be executed. For that reason only, we are keeping as H. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Leave it. So this is one option is available. See, if I see the demo. Okay, let me not save this one. So what I have written initially. So H by 2 star and apply save, right? But can you see? Meanwhile, your script got executed different multiple times, second time and third time and all. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So let me uncheck. Definitely in the real time, people they will not go for build periodically because they don't know right when the script should be executed. Whenever if you are thinking like every week Friday I'm executing, that time you can go for. Why should I execute for every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes? Because script will execute, it will take around an hour, 1 hour or 1.5 hours. In that case, definitely we cannot go for build periodically, right? But every week Friday, if you are executing, in that case, you can go for build periodically. We have one more option, guys, in Git, which is nothing but poll SCM. What is this poll SCM? What is meant by poll SCM? Build periodically, you know. Build periodically means every time it will execute. You can mention some, maybe a period through the cron pattern. So for a particular interval of time, your script will be executed. But what is poll SCM? Poll SCM means, see, now you have written a script. You have, consider you have a developer. You are the developer. You have written some Java code in your local machine. Now this code you have saved in some centralized repository or shared repository, which is called GitHub. You used GitHub in your machine. Now you can able to integrate this GitHub. Tomorrow I will tell you how can I integrate the GitHub and Jenkins. You have integrated your GitHub with the Jenkins. How can I integrate the GitHub with the Jenkins? It's simple, guys. Can you see here? Source code management. Here you can click on this Git and you can give the repository URL. If you want to add the credential, you can add it actually. Username and password for your GitHub, you can add it. We have a way, guys. But as of now, I'm not going to add anything. So you have to give the repository URL of your Git in Jenkins. Thereby, what will happen? Suppose you have written some code and you are pushing the code to GitHub and you have configured your GitHub repository URL in Jenkins. Now, when you click on build, now, what will happen? Where is your code? Your code is in GitHub, right? That code will be pulled from a GitHub to Jenkins. that will be executed. Is that right or wrong? Is that right or wrong?
Yes, correct.
How the Jenkins will run your script? By pulling the code from GitHub. Am I correct?
Yes, bro.
Right. Now, for an instance, suppose whenever if I push the code from the local machine to GitHub, it means that I made some changes on the remote, right? Is that right or wrong? When I push the code from local to remote, what it means? I made a code changes on the remote. Is it correct? Is it
Yes.
correct? But when you manually configure your GitHub and Jenkins, what will happen? You will go for Jenkins manually. You are clicking on build now, but I don't want to click manually on Jenkins. Whenever I do some changes in my code, when I push the code to GitHub, automatically Jenkins should understand any changes happened on the GitHub, I want to execute. Once again, I will repeat. So if you do some changes in your local machine and you push the code to GitHub, Jenkins should automatically understand there is a changes on the GitHub. Immediately it should trigger the job. Immediately it should run the job. How? For that reason only, we have an option called poll SCM. For that only, we have a poll SCM. If you are mentioning right here also every 2 minutes, if you mention like every 2 minutes, what will happen, right? This Jenkins, it will go to the GitHub and it will check, is there any new changes happened? If it is a new changes, then only it will run your job. If there is no changes, it will not run your job. Every 2 minutes, Jenkins will check, is there any changes happened on GitHub? That's the purpose of poll SCM. Guys, are you clear? What is the purpose of poll SCM? Emmanuel, Monica, Nikhil, Satyamurthy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me?
Understood.
Can you tell me which one is more affordable way? Which one is you think like effective way? Whether it's a build periodically or poll SCM?
Policy.
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 Why you are
Sir.
saying poll SCM is the effective way?
Because whenever any changes happen in GitHub, automatically Jenkins will reflect that.
If
It will
changes does not
understand.
happen,
It will not
Yeah.
run. It will not build
Exactly.
any.
your Jenkins won't run. Am I clear? What is build trigger? What is build periodical and poll SCM?
Yes.
Okay. There is a third option I will tell you now. What is GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling? GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling. What does this means? See, Jenkins that has given, there are more features, guys. That's the reason yesterday I told you 95% of tasks we can able to automate inside the Jenkins itself. Now, what is this one? What is GitHub hook? This one. What is this one? You know what is build periodically? What is build periodically?
Yes,
You know what is poll SCM? Yeah, tell me. Tell me, Pa.
build periodically.
Build periodically you already taught, right?
Okay, yes, bro.
Build
Sorry.
periodically means
Okay. It is there. GitHub on the whole period.
okay. So what is this one? GitHub hook trigger for SCM polling. I will tell you. Listen. Suppose the developer, they written the code. They have written the code, and they are storing this code into some centralized system, a distributed system, which is GitHub. They are using the GitHub for their centralized code repository, which is distributed system, a version control system. Now, what you can do inside the GitHub, we have one option called webhooks. Inside a GitHub, we have one option called webhooks. We have one feature called webhooks. So what you have to do, you have to download one third-party proxy. You have to download one third-party proxy, which is nothing but ngrok. We have one server called ngrok server. if you download this third-party Ngrok server and you have to configure this Ngrok server, this Ngrok server, right, has some address. Consider like it has some address. This address you have to configure inside your GitHub through the webhooks. So I will tell you again. You have a code that you push the code to the GitHub. In GitHub, we have one feature called webhook. Inside the webhook, you are configuring Ngrok server address. You are configuring Ngrok server address. Now, this Ngrok, that is configured. This address is also configured inside the Jenkins. This is also configured inside the Jenkins. In Jenkins also configured with your GitHub, right? Now what will happen? Why do we need this webhook and the Ngrok server? Ngrok is the proxy server. What's the purpose of it? See, now if you are one minute, let me use this. Yeah. Now you are pushing the code to GitHub, guys. You are pushing the code to the GitHub. You are pushing the code to the GitHub. When you push the code to the GitHub, we already set up Ngrok server right here. Thereby, this webhook, it will send some notification to the Ngrok server saying that, hey, there is a changes in your GitHub. There is a changes in your GitHub. Who will send the notification? Webhook will send the notification to the Ngrok server. Now, what this Ngrok server will do, already it is configured inside the Jenkins also. Thereby, Ngrok server will send the notification to Jenkins saying that, yeah, there is a changes in GitHub. When there is a changes in the GitHub, which is already known by the Ngrok server, it is sending the notification to the Jenkins. Thereby, Jenkins, what it will do? It will run your job. When Jenkins is running your job, then there is a notification coming from Ngrok server with the help of webhooks. Now tell me, which one is effective? Build periodically, poll SCM or GitHub hook?
Policy.
Poll SCM. Others?
For a GitHub.
Polesium, sir.
Poll
GitHub
SCM.
root trigger வந்து இன்னொரு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஒரு எஃபர்ட் போடுற மாதிரி இருக்கு.
சரி, நான் இப்போ ஒரு விஷயம் மட்டும் இமானுவேல் கேட்கிறேன். நான் என்ன பண்ணிருக்கேன், every 5 minutes ஒரு வாட்டி, every 5 minutes I have to check, right, in poll SCM, every 5 minutes I have to check, like, is there any changes on the GitHub? Correct, Imanuel?
Correct.
Suppose I have completed the see, for an example, after 5 minutes, I'm thinking like there is a change is going to happen, then only Git will go and Jenkins will go ahead and it will check the GitHub. But suppose after 1 minute itself a commit is happened, what will happen? We have to wait for 4 minutes, right? Yes or no?
Yes, bro.
Imanuel?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Every 5 minutes, the Jenkins will check the GitHub. Now, what I'm saying, after 1 minute itself, or maybe within a 20 or 30 seconds, the developer, they push the code to the GitHub. Now, what will happen? I'm asking.
Again,
Is that 5 minutes I have to wait for executing my script, or I need to start immediately?
You need to start immediately, bro.
Immediately. Now, tell me, poll SCM will start immediately or GitHub hook will start immediately?
Hook will start immediately.
Now, tell me which one is effective?
Hook trigger is.
Exactly. Monica, am I clear?
Yeah, this GitHub hook trigger, can you please repeat it one more time?
So what I said, okay, let me repeat it. Let's see what I'm saying. Right, listen. Let me remove this one. Now you have written a code. The developer, they have written some code and they made all the changes in it locally. They made all the changes locally. Now this is the time to push the code to GitHub. And we have a GitHub where they have created a branch called master or maybe some other branch. They have pushed the code to the master branch. Now, what is the next step? Consider in GitHub, we have one feature called, it is available, which is nothing but a webhook. In GitHub, we have one feature called webhook. Let me show you that one. See, if we go mygithub.com, this is my GitHub, where, one minute, let's put this. Okay, you can click on this, and can you see settings? Yeah, click on the settings, and here you can find something called webhooks. Where is that webhook? 1 minute. Okay, let's check webhook in GitHub. So where is webhook? Settings page of our repository. From this, click webhook. Okay, I am in settings page. This is settings, and where is web? No. So 1 minute. So github.com, and I can go for one project. Inside the project, I can click on settings, and here, can you see the webhooks?
Yes, bro. Yes, yes.
Yeah, when you click on this webhook, right? Can you see add webhook here? And I need to give the password, and I have changed the password. This is the password I have given. Okay, yes. So here you have to set, right? You have to add the webhook. You can give the some secret key along with just the push event and add a webhook. So that I will tell tomorrow, but as of now, we can able to add webhook. Here what basically we will do, we will give the payload URL. When I say payload URL, the ngrok server URL. So we are going to download one server called ngrok server. See, we have one server called ngrok. It is one proxy server. This proxy server we are going to download. So now what will happen? In webhook, we will configure ngrok server URL. ngrok server address we will configure here. Now what will happen? Whenever you do some changes in your code, you will push the code to GitHub, right? That will be understood by your webhook. Now webhook will send the notification through ngrok server. This ngrok knows the Jenkins address as well. When I download the ngrok server, right, that time I will give the Jenkins server address, public address. So now Jenkins will get some notification. Thereby what will happen? Suppose if the developer, they made some changes in the code, then they are pushing the code to the GitHub. Automatically, ngrok server understanding the webhooks and sending the notification to the Jenkins, your job will be triggered. Your job will be triggered. But if you go for poll SCM, right? If you go for poll SCM, here what is happening? Same code changes is happening, and you are pushing the code to the GitHub, and here there is no feature. What you have done in Jenkins, you have added the poll SCM. You have added the poll SCM. It means that you have added some cron job. You have added the cron pattern. It means that every 2 minutes I have to check, or every 5 minutes I have to check. Like that you made. Or every day I have to check. Every day at 12 p.m. I have to check. Every day 12 p.m. I have to check. But what is the problem with this? Suppose if your developer, they have pushed the code at 10 a.m. What will happen? Do I need to wait for 2 hours? Suppose if they are pushing the code 10 p.m. Do I need to wait for maybe 10 hours or 2 hours? No, right? For that reason only, we need to go for this GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling. Now, guys, is it understandable or still you are not
Yeah,
able
got
to?
it.
Understood.
Nikhil and Satyamurthy?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is called a build triggers. Be online this. Okay, guys. So, see, in the interview also people might ask, hey, can you tell me what are the options are available under your build trigger? That time you have to tell, these are the different options, like poll SCM, build periodically, git a hook trigger for SCM polling. Trigger build remotely, for that you have to write the script. Some authentication token you have to give, not required. Build after other projects are built. Sometime, you know, in a real time, you have a dependent project. One project is completed, then only the next project will trigger. There is a dependency between the project. That time the people, they will go for this one. Build after other projects are built. Suppose there are two teams in your project. Say one is the order management team and another one is maybe one more team, maybe enrollment team is available. Order management team required data from the enrollment team. In that case, when the enrollment team project is executed, then only what I have to do, order management should be executed, right? So in that case, you can go for this one. You can give that particular project. You have to check whether the project is already completed or not. If it is completed, that will be executed. But most of the cases, you will go for these three options. But in the real time, either you can trigger build remotely with help of a script, or you can go for a dependency project and all, you can go for second option. But most of the time, you will see these three options. I personally prefer this one, git a hook trigger for git SCM polling. But you guys, based on your requirement, based on your need, you can select a particular build trigger. In your real-time project, definitely you will follow one of the build trigger. Most of the time, the last three options. Am I clear? Am I clear, guys?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Right. Good. Okay. Today I've covered two topics, right? One is related to build trigger, and another one is small pipeline we have created, Jenkins pipeline. A small skeleton we have used how to create the Jenkins pipeline. So still again, I want to complete a Jenkins. Still we have to see few more things. Maybe tomorrow we'll try to cover those topics. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If you have any question, you can
Sir-
ask me. Otherwise, we'll see.
Sir-
Yeah, tell me, Nikhil.
Sir, this one can you send through WhatsApp, sir?
Now, immediately I will send you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And also in the same manner, like I will upload this video in the YouTube, and I will
Okay,
send you
sir.
the link as well. And along with that, you already have the drive sheet. Just to practice, guys. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Any question in Git and Jenkins? Any queries with respect to this?
No.
No.
After Git and Jenkins, we are going to understand about the Ansible. The next topic is Ansible, the configuration management tool. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this maybe Saturday or Sunday, can we conduct some kind of mock interview? What are the topics that we have covered?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Everyone,
Yes, bro.
Yes, sir.
to practice them in your machine. So just to do the answer with respect to command and all, maybe Saturday, Sunday, if you we will conduct. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Then fine, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.